Is that pretty spot on the system and the approach you guys take, or am I missing a few steps?
You might be missing a few, but I think that's not 100% of what we do. That might be like 30% of that's one technique to get information. Yes.
Okay, so if that's the case, how come? Have you had any, or have you tried? Maybe the better question is to say, I am sure you've tried to get Fauci. I'm sure you've tried to get his people. I'm sure you've tried to, see how you can find him, to get him in a place to open up and talk. The question would be, one, have you? Two, why have you not been that successful with Fauci?
Specifically Anthony Fauci.
I am specifically talking about Anthony Fauci.
The man, not his staff, for example.
Well, anybody that's his lieutenants, that would be his staff as well. That's still a very valuable asset, because what you did with Pfizer was very powerful. Why haven't you been successful with Fauci?
I don't have a legitimate excuse there. I suppose I like to say this to my staff, that, and I hate to refer to myself in the third person, but O'Keefe Media, my organization, we always get the story. Sometimes it just might take longer for us to get it. So I would say we haven't gotten him yet. Have I made the attempts? I mean, we did so many stories about Pfizer specifically, but to your point, why haven't we gone after this man in particular? Oh, I remember about 2-3 years ago, I did everything I'm talking about is legal, but I did a lot of surveillance on him for a number of days and moved on to the next story. So I suppose I don't really have a good excuse there, and that's something that I should get him to open up about.
I don't know if I told you last time we were together, there was a story of an insurance guy who had a couple prostitutes on his payroll, and this guy sells big insurance policies, something called premium financing. And one day, one of his competitors steals give or take a $5 million insurance policy away from him. And he finds out that he stole that $5 million insurance policy and coerced the client to go with him instead of the other guy. Anyways, this guy's step number one, someone's computer keeps going off. Can you lower the audio? Yeah. So he sends first a private investigator to see patterns. For about a month, they measure his patterns. What restaurants he goes to, at what time, where he sits, what he orders, who's his waiter, who's his waitress. A month later, after doing a private investigation and seeing his patterns, he sends the girl. The girl goes, sits at the bar. She knows where he's going to be at what time. And right next to him, she gets emotional and she smiles at him. He starts talking and say, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay with you? I'm so sorry. I'm just really going through a really hard time. She starts crying. She opens up to him. She says, I'm so embarrassed crying here. He follows her, goes upstairs to a room. Boom, they have the recording, the footage. He sends the footage to the other agent, says, hey, this is what you did. You need to send that client back over to me. Do you go as far as that to measure patterns of an individual to see what restaurants and places to go to be able to track it? Or, is that one of the other 70%?
That's an extreme example, but we have done things like that. There is something that we're working on right now where we were tracking down corruption in D.C., which you'll see in a month or so, which is serious story. And we had to find a specific individual or a specific organization.